Hey, welcome back to Overkill Reviews, and what an exciting Overkill review it is. It's the second review in a week, because we're back to 2 a week. And the second video will always, usually, mostly, sometimes, we promise, be dedicated to underground and obscure bands. So, of course, a big smooch to all you that got on Patreon, got subscribed to the channel, and helped us push through to get back to 2 videos a week. Thanks so much, guys. And hey, if you're new here, welcome. We review 2 records every week, along with some other fun stuff peppered in. So, get subscribed, keep up with us. Without further ado, let's check out this band I couldn't talk about last year because they only put out an EP. Yes, that's right. Extremity has put out some juicy old school death metal. It's called Coffin Birth, and it's out today on 20 Bucks Spin. They're a supergroup forming from bands you mostly haven't heard of, but that are all very good. Oh, hell yeah, you know I hate bios, and this one's so short I think I can do it in one breath. Extremity are from Oakland. They formed in 2016. They released an EP last year. It ripped. Hell yeah. Now they got a full length. Marissa Martinez-Headley, Sherby Lumo both handle vocals and guitar duties. A$AP Decker is on drums. Bagoosh, let's get the show on the road. Woo! Hey, starting things off on a good note. Looks like there's no intro track on this album. But wait, there's a slash in the title of the first song. It's 2. You hit an intro track in the first song? You motherfucker! Starting things off on a good note, despite having an intro, opening track, A Million Witches, lets you know exactly what this band is selling and what you're getting for the next 40 minutes. Hey, it's old school death metal. Is this record for you? I don't know. Do you have a tab open right now and you're keeping an eye on a $300 bolt thrower shirt on eBay? There's a good chance this record's for you. So, it's old school death metal, but there's something a little off about the whole record. I'll give it to that intro track. It actually sets things up, the mood, kind of well. The whole album has a bit of a haunted funhouse vibe where nothing's quite the way it seems. It's spooky. Let's start with vocals, because I feel like that's the best way to explain that weird stuff I was saying before. So, Marissa and Shelby both sing on the record, and they sound different, but not wildly different. And sometimes they sing together, and sometimes they sing apart, and sometimes one of them sings, and it really throws you off. Sometimes you're like, wait, is 2 people singing? Is one who? It's like there's a weird demon in the house that's throwing you off, especially when they sing together in intense parts. It gives, I mean, the album's called Coffin Birth, not Comfortable Home Water Birth, so good on you. I can almost say the exact same thing about the guitar tones as well. They both play guitar. Their guitars are slightly different, but not wildly. Sometimes they play together. Sometimes one of them breaks off for a little bit. Sometimes they're a little out of sync. And you go to find it, and then it's gone. It's like, you know, a ghost out of the corner of your eye. Yeah, spooky. Another great old school thing about this record is they're not afraid to slow down.
Slowing down can be hard because you might lose intensity or atmosphere, but they keep the sinister and dread just building when they slow down. Halfway through Umbilicus, the song almost completely stops, but it doesn't feel like the pressure on your chest is being let off in any way.
Tempo changes? It's more weird shit. There's a weird shit thing going on in this album. Get into it. I think a big part of the way this captures the old school feel is A$AP Decker's drumming. It's death metal drumming with a bit of a punky influence infused into it. And it kind of makes you think back to a time when death metal wasn't a clearly defined style yet, so there was experimentation and you're pulling in from other things you know, trying to create that sound. A little dirty D-beat injection, never inappropriate in my books. That's not to say it's a dated or unoriginal style either. He uses cymbals a lot and in weird ways, so I find myself kind of leaning in to hear the cymbals better, but that's not how sound works. Just check it out, you'll see what I mean. There's even something off about the cymbals, too. They sound shitty. Good shitty. The album's even got some weird accoutrements it's bringing out to throw things off, too. There's the organ from the start makes another appearance. There's a little bit of an acoustic sprinkle on 2 songs, and there's some overlaid audio samples that aren't enough to feel like they belong, so it's always keeping you on that back foot as well. It kind of reminds me of an old school show flyer where computers, you didn't have one, so what did you do? You cut out a bunch of shit and then you photocopied it. And then 20 years later, perverts like us just covet them and we keep them and we put them on our walls. So, let's wrap this thing up in a spooky bow. What I'm trying to say is a lot of death metal kind of seems like it fell out of a bunch of machines because a lot of people that play death metal are robots. This whole record has an incredibly organic feel to it. Instead of putting a layer of polish on it, they put a layer of grime. Everything feels off and imperfect, but it feels like it was supposed to be off and imperfect, so it's kind of perfect in that way. I just really can't overstate how fun and effective it is to have some little things that are out of place on a record that's supposed to make you feel not good. This was a very strong debut. I think these guys have a bright future, and that's why I'm giving it 4 out of 5 skulls that are babies, because, you know, Coffin Birth. So hey, it's shoutouts time. And since this record was already underground, that means the shoutouts even undergrounder. Magma. So what do we got? Up first, Abduction, A Crown of Curses. One-man black metal of the UK, eh? Num 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 num. It's some really good suicidal depressive black metal, and that is always how I'll say that. Depressive suicidal black metal sounds bad. It's got my favorite thing from projects like this, a thick layer over everything that makes it sound like it was recorded at the bottom of the ocean. It's on Bandcamp, and it's out today. This review was all about spooky atmosphere. And if you want more spooky atmosphere, Phantom, Death Epic. It's very tribulation-esque, gothic black metal, heavy on the ick. Very important. Better than that Ghost record. Check it out. It's also out on Bandcamp today. And hey, also, Hellripper, that shirt I was wearing in the last review, dude doesn't have a new album out yet, but he does have a split with an album cover we absolutely cannot put on here. Oh, Jesus, you gotta go check it out. It's on Bandcamp. It's like 2 minutes, but he's also got a bunch of other great records, so you should check those out. So that's the last shout-out, except for the last shout-out. What premieres on Monday, with new episodes airing every day after that? It's Shredders of Metal. It features guitar shredding, me making jokes about guitar shredding. I hope you'll watch it. It's gonna be sick. So, that's been Overkill Reviews. Thanks for watching, and especially big thanks to anyone supporting us on Patreon. I wonder who you are. Let's find out who you are.